Whether you get into this annual practice of creating your New Year's resolution or you prefer year end reflections instead, I'd say that unless you're approaching the new year with the right mindset, nothing new that you vow to do this year will make any true and lasting difference in your life. You're listening to Shift Happens Every Day podcast episode number 2. Today, I will be sharing with you my 4-point plan for starting the new year strong.
If each one of us is a work in progress, and we are constantly being quote unquote worked on by our master creator, then that means every day we are growing. Every day we are evolving. Every day we are expanding. And so that also means that where we are standing right now in life may not provide sufficient space to allow for that expansion. And so what do? We shift. You may not have realized this yet, but you shift every day. We shift positions, we shift gears, we shift directions, we shift perspectives. This is just a natural and beautiful part of life. Hi, this is Myla Saavedra. My weekly podcast, Shift Happens Every Day, is all about finding just the right tiny adjustments we can make every single day to make room for these shifts in life without being overwhelmed or shocked. And most importantly, without the need to be perfect. I invite you to subscribe to my brand new podcast show, Shift Happens Every Day. Episodes will be released once every week. So come as you are, bring your favorite cup of joe, and let's get ready to make a big shift.
Hey there, it's Myla Saavedra, and welcome to another episode of Shift Happens Every Day. What I am hoping to share with you today may be a little too long to cover in one episode, so I've decided to break it up into 4 episodes. So consider this a 4-part mini-series, and today will be part 1. It's that time of year again when all you hear people talk about are their New Year's resolutions. As cliched as this practice may seem to be for some, somehow resolutions revive a sense of hope, optimism, and enthusiasm in the hearts of many. But whether you get into this annual practice of creating your New Year's resolutions, or you prefer year-end reflections instead, or you prefer to do none of that at all, I'd say that unless you're approaching the new year with the right mindset, nothing new that you vow to do this year will make any true and lasting difference in your life. Now, this is a hard truth to hear and accept because most resolutions consist of breaking old destructive habits, and kicking old habits successfully requires a renewing of the mind. I love this quote by Christian author Nancy Lee DeMoss, who wrote one of my absolute favorite books of all time, Lies Women Believe. She said, "New behaviors start with new mindsets. The pathway to personal transformation requires a change in perspective." A change in perspective is the same as a renewing of the mind. Even singer-actress Jennifer Hudson attributed her remarkable transformation to the power of mindset. Many years ago, when she lost 80 pounds for the first time, people started speculating that the only reason she was able to maintain her new weight was because she had the money to hire a personal trainer and a chef, which she firmly denied. She said, and I quote, "It's all about self-motivation because at the end of the day, you can have all the trainers and all the money in the world, but if you don't have that mindset, it's not possible." And she's right about that. Mindset is at the core and the very foundation of everything we do. The pursuit of success is 90% mindset. Your mind is the training ground where you prepare for life's battles, and you need to develop a winning mindset in order to overcome any challenging situation. But don't disregard the power of your emotions either. Your emotions affect your thoughts, and your thoughts affect your choices, which consequently form your habits and behavior. If you seriously want to start the new year strong, you have to choose to adopt a winning mindset. You need to make sure that you are mentally and emotionally capable of receiving and handling all the great things that you say you want to have this year. Say, for example, you're praying for your business to grow and scale up to a multi-million level. Well, the question therefore is, are you ready for that level of business growth? Are you training your mind to think like a multi-millionaire business owner? Or are you still thinking in the same feast or famine mode? So, at a quick glance, here is the 4-point plan that I wish to present to you in this series for starting the new year strong. Point number 1, be grateful for everything you received last year. Point number 2, let go of everything that's weighing you down. Point number 3, make space for what you're asking to receive. And point number 4, welcome change with grace and ease. And now let's talk about point number 1. Point number 1 is be grateful for everything you received last year. This is nothing new to you. I'm certain that you've heard this a million other times, but it has to be said as many times as necessary until this becomes deeply ingrained in your character. In order to start the year strong, having the confidence that you will achieve your desires, you need to start off on the right foot. And as you very well know by now, this means starting with the mindset of gratitude. Being grateful is not just about expressing appreciation for the obvious blessings and favors that we are naturally happy to have, like money, recognition, family, friends, job, house, etc. Today, I challenge you to take a look at the last year and remember each and every blessing that may have come in the form of, number 1, the people who helped and supported you. These could be people who are close to you, or they could also just be casual acquaintances or even complete strangers. But these are people who helped you accomplish a goal or who helped meet a need at one point in your journey last year. It could be that guest speaker on a podcast whose story made a huge impact on you. Or it could be that nurse at the hospital whose assistance helped alleviate the pain that you were experiencing. Or it could be someone who answered a question that you posted in an online forum and offered some valuable perspective. Whoever these people might be, however they might have come into your life, these people were put on your path as God's way of reminding you that you're not alone and that reinforcements will always be sent to you when you need them. Another blessing could be the people who may have hurt you last year. The people who may have hurt you can also be viewed as a blessing, believe it or not, because they made you stronger and to a certain degree made you a better person, right? I know it's difficult to think about these people who may have said or done something to make you feel so insignificant and then feel gratitude at the same time. Oh, believe me, I know. But you need to try because these people were instrumental to molding your character. When you think about these people, the pain or the anger might resurface, and understandably so. But I challenge you to not dwell on specific memories that bring up the agonizing emotions, but just to hold the memory long enough in your head to say, thank you. Thank you for your contribution to my life. Because in a lot of ways, you did come out of that experience a better, stronger, and wiser human being, did you not? Another blessing we need to think about is the blessing of financial provision. Whether or not you are at the financial level that you hope to be, the fact is that you had the means to pay your bills, buy groceries, and eat at least 3 times a day, right? Gifts for your family last year. Be grateful for that. Take a moment to truly be thankful for those times when you had the financial means to pay for a visit to the doctor, for example, or to buy medicine when you needed to, or to fix something in the house that was broken. Your health is another blessing. The fact that you're able to walk from one point to the next, the fact that you're still able to perform vital functions every day, all that is worth being grateful for. Even if your health is not at its optimum level right now, to simply be alive is the greatest blessing that can be bestowed upon anyone. Be grateful for the moments when you felt really nurtured and loved, for that's another blessing. Appreciate the moments when you really felt nurtured, taken care of, and noticed. This could be when a loved one took an effort to tell you how much he or she appreciates you, or to ask how you were doing, or to ask if there's anything you needed, or to simply say, "Hey, I thought about you today. I hope you're doing fine." Or it could also be moments when you just laughed with abandon, or when you were moved to tears because of overwhelming joy, when your spouse sends you a text message to simply ask you how your day is going, or when your kid plants a kiss on your cheek and whispers, "I love you, Mom," before leaving for school. Remember not to take these moments for granted and dismiss them as nothing more than daily routine. Oh, it's just their routine. No. These moments are God's way of reminding you that you are massively loved. These moments are His way of nurturing your soul. Another blessing that may have come your way are the subtle reminders of how beautiful life is. Your bare feet on the grass, just like Richard Gere in Pretty Woman. The warm sun against your cheek, the gentle breeze ruffling your hair, the sound of the rolling waves. So many things that are supposed to remind us of how beautiful life is are often taken for granted, or worse, considered as disruption sometimes. Like the rain, for example. So many of us complain about the rain, myself included, but that was in the past, because it gets in the way of fun and often causes us to cancel our plans. But it would be good for your soul to take a moment to just appreciate it and honor the blessings that it brings, myself included. Another blessing or blessings to be grateful for are the opportunities to learn something new. If you come across a book, or if you enrolled in a mentorship program, or if you attended a business building event and you learned something valuable, be grateful for that. Even if it didn't quite meet your expectations, but if it added to your bank of knowledge in the slightest degree, be grateful nonetheless. Be grateful also for the new people you meet or you met last year. Remember all the people you met last year, even if it was only for a brief moment, and be grateful for their energy. Be grateful that you crossed paths with these beautiful, gifted souls. They may be different from you, but they also have their own story to tell. Utter a short prayer of blessing for them, because there was a reason that you crossed paths, however short-lived it might have been. Even if it was just for that one brief moment and you never saw that person again. Honor the energy that they brought into your space and be thankful for the opportunity to share with them a little bit of yours. Relationships that have been restored are another blessing. It's easy to take this for granted. If you had a falling out with someone and you had the opportunity to patch things up with that person last year, even though the relationship was never exactly the same again, it's still worth being grateful for. Never take for granted the blessing of being able to go to sleep at night without holding on to any grudge against anybody, and knowing that nobody holds a grudge against you. That's a big deal. At the end of the day, having that knowledge that you have done right by everyone to the best of your ability is still a great blessing. Yeah, even though you can't 100% please everyone anyway, it's still worth being grateful for. Forgiveness brings forth a tremendous healing power, whether you're the one giving it or you're on the receiving end of it. So that is point number 1 of our 4-point plan for starting the year strong. Be grateful for everything you received last year. Developing a gratitude mindset doesn't always happen overnight. And as with any habit, it takes repetition, practice, and consistency. Even more so when it comes to changing our thought patterns. But the flow of abundance, the wisdom, the joy and sense of fulfillment that gratitude cultivates will make a world of difference in your life and business. Remember, if you don't get into the habit of recognizing and acknowledging the good things that happened to you in the past, you're most likely to miss out on the even better things that are coming your way this year or at any time in the future. So, this is extremely important. Adopt an attitude of gratitude and know that each day will present itself with a handful of things to be grateful for. I'm stopping here for now and we'll continue on with part 2 or point number 2 next week. So, my friend, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't wait to connect with you again and explore more ways to shift our mindset for living a more fulfilling life. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and stay safe. If you love listening to this podcast, please leave a review in Apple Podcasts and spread the love around by sharing it with your friends and loved ones. I'd sincerely appreciate your support. Thanks for listening to Shift Happens Every Day. You can access the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at www.mylasaavedra.com/podcast. Please join us again in the next episode of Shift Happens Every Day.